Party's on Rhodes versus Rhodes. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Tamara Rhodes is suing her ex-husband, aerospace administrator James Rhodes, 42, for legal fees incurred trying to collect her child's medical bills. He says the child is not his.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 255 on the calendar in the matter of Rhodes versus Rhodes. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat.
Let me see if I understand this lawsuit, Mrs. Rhodes. The defendant had been your husband.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are now divorced.
Yes.
Is this your present husband?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you have a seat, sir? According to your complaint, while you were married to the defendant, you became pregnant with your current husband's child. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your child that was born required a great deal of medical attention in the first 3 months of life.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant, according to your complaint, refused to pursue insurance claims for the medical bills for that child.
Yes.
The child that wasn't his.
Yes.
Forcing you to go out and get a lawyer to pursue the insurance company for reimbursement.
Yes.
So you are suing your former husband for the legal fees that you incurred
Yes.
to get his insurance company to pay for your child.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I clarify?
Sure. Why don't you step up here?
Yeah.
Then you clarify it, and then you tell me why you didn't pay for your own child's
Very well.
insurance.
She was a dependent under Mr. Rhodes' insurance.
Yes.
Okay, under the fact of the matter is when the child was born, she was still covered under his insurance. And
She was.
She had it was a requirement by the divorce stipulation that she would be
By what stipulation?
the divorce stipulation.
Yes.
Okay, a legal document here that he would maintain her insurance
Let me see it.
and also
Just a second. Just a second. Let me look at it. Absolutely right. This says that the respondent, that's you,
yes.
shall continue to cover petitioner, that's you, under his health insurance
That's correct.
available through his employer.
That's correct.
Did you continue to cover her?
Yes, I did.
So what's your complaint with regard to him?
Okay, when the child was born, she was still covered under his insurance because she was still married to him legally. I could not even put her under my insurance as a married woman to someone else. I could do it my employer will allow me to do it as a domestic partner once she's divorced. Therefore, when the child was born, under his insurance coverage, she's automatically covered for 30 days. And I have a book that indicates that coverage.
That sounds right to me.
Okay,
So the child is automatically covered for 30 days.
The child went into ICU immediately after birth due to a variety of medical problems. What happened is that once the bills started coming in, his insurance carrier refused to pay them for whatever reason.
Right.
We went through great lengths. We called him. I even personally talked to him on the phone, said that I was Mr. Rhodes, and asked him, well, what can I do? And they said, well, you have to submit an appeal. And that has to be done in writing, and it has to be signed by the member, which was Mr. Rhodes. Now, we called him and talked to him initially and asked him if he would do that. And initially, he seemed like he would be interested in doing that. We set up a meeting and met with him and his significant other, and at that meeting, basically everything came apart. You know, the parties parted ways, and basically, shortly after, our phone was call blocked to his residence, so she could not
What's
call
your
me.
last name?
Payetta.
Mr. Payetta, the insurance company declined to pay for the child for the first 30 days.
At that time, yes.
And what you're complaining about is that Mr. Rhodes here, you don't have to say anything yet, Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Rhodes here said, I'm not filing any appeals with the insurance company.
That's correct.
And because he said he would not file appeals with the insurance company, you were forced to hire a lawyer.
That's correct.
And the lawyer was able to get the insurance company to pay up.
The majority of the claims. There are still some outstanding.
But the insurance company agreed that they had made a mistake
That's correct.
and that they should have paid.
That's correct.
Well, I suggest you sue the insurance company
That was a possibility. We talked to the attorney. He said that the chances of that would be very unlikely.
Well, the chances of you being successful against Mr. Rhodes are even less likely, sir. He did what was required of him pursuant to this judgment of divorce. Oh,
did.
yes.
Your Honor, it says that he was supposed to assist in the submission of the
They
claims.
said he had the right to appeal. They wouldn't even
Just a
listen to
second,
me.
just a second. It says that the respondent shall continue to cover the petitioner under his health insurance available through his employer until she is no longer eligible as his spouse and cooperate in the submission and payment of claims and reimbursements.
That's correct.
That's what it says. Now, you submitted the claims.
No, what happens is the hospital submits the claims. They come back denied, and then the hospital sends us a bill and says you have to pay it. Okay, so we called the insurance
Just a
company.
second. You said it was denied.